Enjoy Destroy.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you in the Gibson headquarters.
Yeah,
I'm sure you feel like you're in heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
He doesn't teach guitar.
Well, of course. You can go out and stroke them later, maybe, on the way out.
When you're not looking.
We're going to go out and change the addresses on the ones that are getting sent off to all our homes. So.
You can try. Or they don't belong to me, so you can try. Now, can you introduce yourselves first of all for the people who aren't aware of who you are?
Well, I'm Ed and I play bass.
Tommy and I play drums.
I'm Freddie and I sing and play guitar.
I'm Chris and I play the guitar.
Okay, fantastic. We're going to take you back a little way first, because again, not everyone will be aware of how you guys came together and how you met and all that type of thing. So you can elaborate, make up stories, whatever, but how did you meet and form the band?
We're in the jungle. No, we're at school.
It's not a very interesting story. It's basically we all just went. Three of us went to the same school, and I think it was you and the old drummer, wasn't it? Freddie?
Yeah, me and Matt, our old drummer, kind of were just jamming one day, and then Ed came in and kind of joined in, and then there were guitar, drums, bass. We didn't have a singer, so we got Chris in to sing,
Yeah.
and then I went. And then for reasons that we shan't divulge, Chris became guitarist, and then I started singing, and an old drummer left, Tommy joined. Voila!
And we have what we see before us now. Now, I'm an Australian.
Really?
Yes, and I'm only saying that because I'm not that familiar with a lot of the places in England, especially a lot of the places that bands, come into London from. Basingstoke and Guildford. What does it have to offer down in your area?
Not a lot.
Guildford's alright. Me and Tommy are from Guildford.
Basingstoke has good transport links. That's about it. Yeah. But it's
Nice
great.
ring road.
Yeah. It's great.
Quite efficient.
Yeah, it's really nice.
No, it's quite a good part of the country for our kind of local beers and not for our farming heritage in Hampshire.
Yeah.
Local goodness. Do you think though that type of setting where there's you're not in a big bustling city and stuff is good for the musical and the creative kind of
Yeah, I think so.
stimulation?
Quite good.
Yeah,
nice
we're quite detached from everyone where we are. We
Yes.
rehearse right on the countryside, so it's nice and quiet. We don't have many distractions, which means the only people that hear our new songs are us. So they might be rubbish.
Some of our songs are kind of quite rural influence, like Droving is kind of about.
Oh yeah.
Is about the rolling fields and the.
I was going to ask you that actually. It was one of my last questions, but we'll do it now because you'll know this anyway. In Australia, droving or a drover is someone who moves cattle over a large distance. What my dad does. Is that a reference or? Was it just
Well, yeah, it is because I kind of wrote the lyrics when I was in. I stayed in a cottage called Drover's Cottage, which originally was just a little kind of hovel for farmers driving cattle.
Is that okay?
I kind of came up with it while I was in a droving cottage.
Okay, well, while we're talking about grassroots and all that type of thing, what's your first musical memory? This is one for each of you to answer separately.
We always ask each other what's the first time we
Dancing to Michael Jackson and
Yeah.
Thunderbirds.
Yeah, Michael Jackson, same here.
Oh, is there pictures?
I hope so. I've still got the Thunderbirds outfit somewhere. But yeah.
Oh, I do remember getting the Power Rangers soundtrack at one point. And
I didn't even know they did
I was
one.
I don't know how old I was, but I absolutely love that.
When I look at all my dad's LP covers, they remind me of when I was young. Because I was used to see his CD and LP just lying around, but I kind of didn't take any notice of them. But I only looked at the pictures, and when I see the pictures now, it just reminds me of being like some of his old albums, things like The Breeders and Everything But the Girl, and I kind of
Jefferson Airplane, I remember that. Was the one with the naked woman on the front with plane flying across or something. It might be Jefferson Airplane or something.
That rings a bell for some reason.
Is it the Cream album cover with a bent bar that goes across like that?
No, that's Tubular Bells.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's interesting you mentioned album covers actually, because Little Dreams, the album covers, I don't have it on me, but we'll flash it up there, is amazing. It's really good. Who did the design?
Well, we kind of work with a friend of ours who's been doing quite a lot of our graphics, and I don't know, kids say it's really random, but we're quite into like kind of Dali, surrealism art at the time, so we wanted to like get an album cover which was
bit odd.
Yeah, a bit
Yeah.
odd and a bit kind of stood out from other album
Ties in with
covers.
the
So
red.
like, I think it was like we're having a conversation with them. It's just like put a tiger on it
Yeah.
Yeah.
and a
It's good though. It
Well,
ties in with your wet dreams.
Well, we kind of forwarded him sort of loads of epic, masterful paintings by like Dali and Hieronymus Bosch and people and said, just do something.
Reflect our
Come back in a
Dali
week.
face.
Yeah.
You'll have to have a Banksy face.
It's
for
quite
the
fun though.
exhibition.
It's nice to be just really random and do something. Like, it was just quite fun just to do completely random ideas but some people may think it's just crap, but
I did read it on some random internet site. It's like where they rate covers for like bands, and this guy goes, "I've never seen a tiger look so upset in my life." And I was just like, "Oh, cheers."
yeah.
All good is good. All press is good press, as
Yeah,
they say.
exactly.
Yeah, you'll be up there. It's certainly eye catching. I really like it, but then
Thank
I
you.
like Dali as well. Do you still have your first instruments?
Yeah.
I've played the first guitar I've got, I still play with now.
Still got my quarter size.
It's like, it's usually, I miss it right now. But,
None of their instruments. It's so touching.
I have a really small acoustic guitar that my dad used to play when he was a toddler, and then I started playing on it as well when I was about 14. And it's called Bin Bin. His name has
I've got a violin that's about that size that's still at my parents' house. It's like literally that big. It's probably still the right size for me now. But it's got, still
Well,
there.
keep them, because one day you can either, have them as family heirlooms or flog them for
yeah.
millions on eBay. Yeah, when it all
Might have to,
happens.
when it goes down the drain to sell them quickly.
No, I mean when it flies, it
Yeah.
flies. What's your dream piece of kit? It's a topical question since we're up here.
John Bonham's orange acrylic drum kit, just massive sizes. Yeah, I love that. But that's probably priceless.
Never say
It's
never.
like a whole wall of like bass amps. That'd be nice.
I wouldn't mind like my own museum of just everything. And a pedal board which is probably like the size of the stage. So I could have the whole of the stage and I could like run along it, like that film. Is it Big when they dance on the piano?
Yeah.
So I could do that.
Oh, that'd be amazing, because I always feel
Yeah,
sorry for
and I wouldn't
drummers
actually even need a
chucking
guitar,
that.
I could just run along it and it would do everything.
I'd love to have a massive grand piano on there, like the ones the size of this room with the big bit that you prop up and you can put on a red dress.
Oh, I think you guys should whip
Yeah,
out
see,
some
that's-
costumes for your festival performances.
Yeah.
I think you've got
A
one
live show,
already on
yeah.
That would be fantastic. Now, you've just been supporting the Subways. Did you play Coco last night?
No,
No,
no.
we did the first ball.
Didn't go that one.
Because my
That's good.
colleague was there and I said, "Did you see the guys?" And she said, "No, there must have been one."
No, in case
Yeah.
of fire.
Yeah, we did the first 3 days. They were really good actually. It was nice to be on tour with a band quite close to our genre. It's probably the closest.
Support slot we've had so far,
yeah,
isn't it? Really?
definitely.
We've played with lots of great bands, but some of them have been kind of too heavy for us or too indie.
Yeah.
And it's kind of tough finding bands that are sort of where we are, kind of fairly left of middle, right of left.
Yeah, you are very hard to
Yeah.
pinhole because a lot of people down in the office had said, "What type of music is it? What's it like?" And I kind of said, "Well, you're going to have to listen yourself because I think it's a good thing."
It's kind of strange because it's you kind of find it hard to pigeonhole, but then again, it's nothing like amazingly groundbreaking or
No.
anything. It's not like really far out crazy music. But it's still somewhere floating around by itself.
Yeah, there was something I read in your press release, I think it was, or something like that anyway, out there, and it described how where some bands kind of fit into real niches and stuff, bands like you, and I think they reference the Foo Fighters and stuff like that, glide along next to the rest of it, and I think it was a really good way to
Yeah,
describe
I think
it.
that's what we wanted really. We didn't want to be one of those bands that just gets kind of put straight all over the press because we're doing something different. We just wanted to be like kind of constantly going on a
Yeah,
an
exactly.
uphill.
Yeah, the bands were inspired to be like bands like Incubus and the Foo Fighters and Muse, etc. Just the bands that just do their own thing consistently alongside of the fads and the fashions that run along and in front of Enemy.
Did you see the Foo Fighters on the
No, no.
Oh,
My mum
she
got offered
cried.
2 tickets, but she didn't take them. I was like, "You're an idiot!" And it was Saturday night when Led
Yeah, I was
Zeppelin did
there.
their-
It was amazing. He cried. Dave Grohl actually cried.
Yeah, my friend was there. He said it was
emotional.
yeah.